Hi, I'm Diane Paragas, the writer and director of Yellow Rose, and you're watching Naked Truth. Oh my gosh. It was such a great year for movies. I got a shout out to my Asian films, Parasite and Farewell. I loved Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit. Those would be all, I don't know if I can separate all of them, but just a fantastic year for movies. I made a movie that I wish I would have seen when I was a young girl because I didn't see myself on the big screen. And it does something to you on a fundamental level. You already feel like you don't belong. You already feel weird and out of place. But there's something about seeing yourself in a movie, which is it is the main form of media people relate to. And I worked for 15 years to make sure that I could make a movie that told an authentic Filipino story. So just simply seeing a version of somebody that has your nose, that has your skin tone, that is going through something that's similar to what you're going through, I think it empowers young women. And that's almost the main thing I wanted to do when I made this film. Well, there are two moments come to mind, well, three. The premiere, you have no idea when you're making a movie, and one that took me this long to get financed and made. You just don't know what people are going to think of it. And it opened the LA Asian Film Festival. It was 1,000 people in this huge auditorium. I got like a standing ovation, and I'll never forget that moment. People just really related to it, and that was the first moment I even had any audience react to it, and my family was there, my daughter was there, my relatives were there, and it just meant so much to me. The second time was I got to screen it for NAFA, which is the National Association of Filipino Americans, and we had been playing in film festivals, and film festivals are expensive, so not a lot of young people get to go, and this was an almost all Filipino young people audience, and they were just whooping and talking back to the screen. And the third moment is when we heard that we were getting bought by Sony Pictures, Worldwide Acquisitions. It's the first Filipino film ever released by a major studio in a theater. And all those things I talked about, those dreams I had in my entire career, were validated in that moment. I hope that as long as it took me standing by the door, waiting to come in, I've cracked the door open a little bit wider for other young women who want to tell stories like this. So I have a new film, which we were in the Sundance Labs for, called The 3 Lives of David Wong. And it's about a Chinese immigrant who comes to New York City and gets involved in a petty crime. And he goes to prison, Dannemora prison, and while he's in prison, somebody gets murdered and he gets pinned for the murder and gets a life sentence. And the story is about how he spends the next 15 years exonerating himself. And what I wanted to do in terms of portraying how this man was kind of regarded as a non-human is I'm telling the entire film through live action puppetry. I just like the idea of sort of telling this fable and presenting it like an oral history, like a puppet show, and that the big reveal was not whether he did it or not, would be when we revealed the actual man, when you see him at the end of the film. This entire time you've seen him portrayed as a puppet. And visually, I thought it would just be really striking and bold and interesting. I'm excited about sort of stretching myself and doing an experimental film and doing something that pushes the genre.